I recognise the honourable member Eugenie Sage, and let's remember that it is a narrow debate. It's about why the Commissioner is appointed.
Thank you, Mr.
Support
Speaker.
it or not.
Well, congratulate Dr Jan Wright on her appointment, and also congratulate the Office of the Parliamentary Commissioner for the Environment because it celebrates its 25th birthday this year. It was established under the Environment Act, and at the same time that the Department of Conservation and the Ministry for the Environment were established. And as Dr Wright noted in a recent speech, the Parliamentary Commissioner's Office at the time was talked about being an environmental auditor and an environmental ombudsman, and certainly that is what the office has been, with its reports which have made a series of recommendations, often to ministers, and also her office's role in providing advice to select committees. And one of the more useful reports she's produced recently is the one on 1080, which separated a lot of the myths from the facts and recommended against a moratorium on 1080 use as some hunting interests had sought. So another of her useful reports was on water quality, and that was a report that didn't contain any recommendations.
Order.
It did explain the science around water quality as simply as possible, and it highlighted that they've got three major sources of water pollution: sediments, nutrients and pathogens. So that report was useful in providing an agreed basis of what the major sources of pollution are. But one of the things that the Parliamentary Commissioner noted when the appropriations for the office were considered before the Local Government and Environment Select Committee this year is that the follow-up to this report about state of environment reporting in New Zealand, last August the Minister had said that there would be a commitment that her office would take on that function. But the office only has 16 full-time staff. It's got a budget of $2.67 million. If we're going to get a comprehensive State of the Environment report in 2013-14, as the government is anticipating, we need the legislation, but also there needs to be an increase in the budget for the office of about $1.35 million. So it will be interesting to see whether there's any provision for that in the upcoming budget. And another of the Commissioner's very useful reports was on mining on the conservation estate and the difficult decisions that she alerted everybody to there. She highlighted that the current mining law and the current Conservation Act gives mining an advantage over other commercial users, and she recommended too against the government's commitment to amend the legislation and make the Minister of Energy have dual responsibility for mining applications on the conservation estate with the Minister of Conservation. And that is a recommendation that the Green Party would strongly like to see implemented. So, Mr Speaker, the Parliamentary Commissioner's Office, over the three Commissioners, Helen Hughes, Morgan Williams and now Dr Jan Wright, has done an enormous body of useful work. We commend her appointment and commend the work that the office does.
Right. The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will please say aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. Honourable members, I therefore call on Government Order of the Day number 2.
Bail Amendment Bill, first reading.
Mr Speaker.
I call the Honourable Minister Chris Finlayson.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of the Minister of Justice,